Okay, here we go. Moment of confession. Look at my mess here, and that's not the only place. This is in my living room. That's the corner I sit in and work. And you can see all of this and all of this. That is a mess. We actually placed an order from Walmart rather than go there because we needed more towels and a set of sheets, and I had a couple pairs of pants that came in up here that I need to hem. So it's all piled. They're ready to go into the laundry and get washed. Then I've got the my crafting card here with my pattern I'm working on and writing, and there's my knit crate box because I've been looking at the pattern for there. Then Dave and I have got an ongoing game of Rummy Cube going, or Rummy Tiles going. So we've left that on the ottoman. We play it like a couple times a day. It's sort of like the card game Rummy, but you can switch tiles around and stuff like that. So we've been playing that, but that's my mess. So I need to get a lot of this cleaned up. And now I'll show you what the kitchen looks like. There's my mess in the kitchen. I've got diamond art going on over here. The old one that I need to get a frame for. Yarn, a box, all of the sewing stuff scattered all over the place that I've been working on, as well as the baby blanket. You can see that right there is my other camera. And so, mess over there. And over on the chair where I've got more material. And there's more yarn over here of things I've got going on and working on and have to put away. So yeah, this is what happens when you're home for a week and you've got another week to go and you decide to do everything at once. So there's my mess, and next I'll show you upstairs. I have cut my material, and this is some towels that I've cut, and I've made them just slightly smaller than the edge here. And I've actually run, you can barely see it, but I've run just a line of sewing here just so this doesn't move once it's made into a hot pad. And then this is going to be folded over like this and sewn except for a small portion, and then I'll flip it inside out and then I'll run stitching around the outside. So I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to sew up this section right here and do just a little quilting on the top just to hold it in place. I was going to sew around the edges here, but it is so thick I know my sewing machine will not go through all that. And there we go. As you can see, I really had to push at some of the corners. But yeah, I'm going to put a grommet in the corner here, and that'll make it so it can hang on a hook. But there's my pot holder. On my poncho, and you can see this is the front, this is the neckline here, and I have taken it apart at the back so I don't have to take the buttons back off. They're just fake buttons. They're on there for, I mean, they're real buttons, but they're just for looks. There's no buttonholes or anything. But rather than have to take them off again, I actually disconnected it at the back, which is right here, and I've undone the garter stitches here and then just picked up these stitches, and I'm starting to knit again. So this is the side I'm currently working on. This is the right side, and you can see right where my striping stopped. This is where the poncho originally stopped, and so I have added onto here, and I'm going to add gray now. Got it, you can see it on the end here. I'm going to add a small stripe of gray, and then it gets another garter edge to it, like what was taken off, and then I'll have to do the same to the other side. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm watching YouTube, watching other knitting podcasts, and working away, and I've got my little crocheted socks on, keeping my feet warm. There's Dave. We're playing Rummy Tiles. There we go, and I'm getting ready to take my turn, so I thought I would show you what I was going to do, because it's like Rummy cards, but it's a little bit different. So let me show you. I get to draw a card. Okay. Now what's different than regular Rummy is I can actually play off of other people's things. So you have to have 3 of a kind. So I'm taking his 10 and putting my 9 and my 8, and I also have an 11 that I can stick there. We won't mention who's winning, although the temptation for me, I mean for us to gloat, yeah, Dave's laughing at that. There's what the rest of my hand looks like. So we'll have to see who wins, and we're munching on tortilla chips. We're actually semi-healthy. They're low or no salt, but no salt tortilla chips. And then in this bowl I have low fat sour cream, salsa, which of course doesn't have fat in it, and we won't talk about the cheese queso dip that's probably making up for all the other calories we're saving. So anyway, back to our game, so that, yeah. Again, we won't mention who's winning, but you know. You can see my kitchen table looks much better now. I've just got the sewing machine. I have a bag I'm working on, and yes, that is some ribbon that I found. Some of it's usable, some of it's going to go on one of mine, because it's got some little teeny like pinholes in it. And there is some material I'm working with, and my diamond dart, and that's a pile of stuff Dave needs to go through that's his things. And you can see my high-tech camera here filming on top of my candle in the center of my table. Yes, that's my high-tech stand that I use when I film in my kitchen. Yes, we like to be on the cutting edge here with technology, so you know how it is. And you can see I've gotten things straightened up here too. The pile of stuff right here is things I'm immediately working on. There's my poncho, and in the basket is all of my advent calendar yarn. And then the knit crate box back there, there's a question with the pattern, so I have it out so I can make corrections when I get back, when I hear back from Knit Crate. And then my scrappy Afghan is sitting in that. So yeah, and I cleaned up the cart. It may not look it, but there is some organization over there. So yeah, getting it back together again.